y'all. So I'm in Mississippi. My uncle passed away. So this is for P Valley to give you a real taste of what Mississippi looks like. Okay, so I'm driving to my grandmother's house right now. Y'all see this country? Country. Now this my auntie house. And park behind. Over here in the grass. And this is my grandmother's house, yeah. My grandmother is dearly departed. She's not with us anymore. But look at all the cars in the yard. That's my uncle's cars. And this the house. What up, everybody? What up, everybody? What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Everybody, let's talk about it. What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Let's talk about it. This is P Valley Season 1, Episode 2. There's some things I want to say, like I love this show, first of all. Second of all, I'm here for Uncle Clifford, his whole aesthetic, whoever is styling him. I live for them. He's giving us legs, honey. At the car wash, he was giving me legs, everything I needed. Like, I love him. Uncle Murder or Little Murder, Lil Nigga, hash Lil Nigga. But Lil Murder is one of my favorite characters as well. He did play Tiffany Haddish's husband in the Madam C.J. Walker movie, and he also played in something else that people were saying, child, on the reviews. He played in a lot of different things, but he gonna be an up and coming actor because he is hilarious, and he gives you just the right amount of like, I'm almost scared, I'm almost turned on, and then I'm laughing too. You know what I mean? I live for him. So I just want to say that, but let's go ahead and get started. So we start off with Mercedes and Mississippi in the cloud room. And in this room, they doing like a dominatrix bit with this guy. First, I thought he was a white dude, but we see on later on that he is mixed. And they doing the whole dominatrix bit with him, honey. They got it going on with the leather boots, and they pull out the whip. They about to go ahead and get it popping. As we, they're bringing a box into the room. And Autumn is in the VIP dancing with Drake's character from The Chi. So she dancing with her, but she's looking to see like what's going on in that room. It's called the Paradise Room. So what's going on in that room? And Diamond sees her looking, and he like, girl, I'm gonna need for you to focus on your clients and don't be worried about what's going on up in here. The club is like fantasy night, so we got girls jumping up, dancing all over the place. You know, it's like 3 girls on a pole. The club is crunk, money flying everywhere. Things look like it's, going pretty good. And I'm looking like with the volume of people that they have in there every week, you would think they would be able to make their little $55,000, but maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. I guess since she got to pay off the sheriff, he got to, do all these backdoor deals to be selling alcohol and stuff. So maybe he got to pay off too many people. Anytime you get a loan from a place that, is a laundromat and check cash, and you already know that their interest rate is probably off the chain. We see Corbin come out of the Paradise Room, and he's thanking Uncle Clifford for a great night as per usual in the room. And as he walks away, you can see the red on his shirt, y'all. That's from the whip that they was whipping him with. He asked the girls, did he bring his own whip? And the girls was like, yeah, he brought his own whip or whatever. And Mississippi makes a comment about him being so light-skinned but can't pass. I just want to tell y'all, for like people who are up north and live in other places, I mean, I know I've said this 1,000 times, I'm from the deep south, and although colorism is a thing, like in the south, we don't live in the 1800s no more, y'all. Like, ain't nobody really passing like that in this generation. Ain't nobody tripping on passing, you know what I'm saying, in this generation. Like, you light skin, you dark skin, whatever Creole, whatever you got going on with you, but passing for white, that's something like my mom and them generation, did. And they did it for a reason, And so she was like, all that light skin and you can't pass. And Uncle Clifford is like, girl, if you don't take your color struck ass on somewhere with this BS. I love how they address colorism in like a, roundabout way to let you know, girl, stop talking that ignorance. Okay, I recently was talking to someone, and this person said that they need to preserve their light skin. And I was just like, well, I know I said something about wearing shorts, you can get some sun or whatever, and the person says, well, no, I don't be wearing shorts, I gotta preserve this light skin. I was like, That's what we doing? Like in 2020, I'm preserving light skin for what? But okay, whatever. Clifford tells Autumn that she needs to see some ID. So Uncle Clifford's pronouns are she. So I might mess this up, y'all. Just work with me. I'm going to try to work it in, okay? I know I probably said he a couple of times already, but the pronouns that Uncle Clifford uses is she. So Clifford tells Autumn that she needs her ID from her, that she's been working here a whole week. Okay, and she gonna need the ID, period, Pooh, or you're not gonna be working here. And so he goes through the house with her, and she's basically accusing him of like, what's going on in the paradise room? You know, they having sex with people in the paradise room, and he was like, ain't no hoes in this house, basically saying, we do not do prostitution up in this place, okay? I don't know what about the other clubs, but ain't no prostitution going on in here. And he tells her, listen, you don't need to be worrying about what's going on in that room unless you give me no ID. You ain't gonna never find out what's going on up in that room. So I need that ID, ma'am. Okay, worry about that. This was hilarious when homegirl was walking into the dressing room and she was stinking because she was farting. First I thought maybe it was her cootie cat that was thinking, but then we realized later on she done farted on somebody, child. So she had gas and she walking in, they spraying her with things talking about she need to stop eating so many sweets. And they need some money house blessing because that's the only thing that's going to get rid of that funk, okay? Autumn goes to the stall to change, and they're basically like, girl, what's wrong with her? Why do she keep, you know, changing in the stall? Why she can't change in front of us? So in the stall, we see that Autumn has a gun. Number one, she has a gun in her bag, and she also has alcohol. She like a straight drunk, okay? She got an alcohol. And so she's changing her clothes, and, you know, I guess she just got a problem with the other girls. This is my thing. A lot of people are saying that Mercedes don't like Autumn and Mercedes got a bad attitude. This is the thing. I think that Mercedes is intimidated by her because, number one, she can make her, you know, take some of her money because Mercedes is seen as the most luxurious booty in the South, right? That's what they say about her. So now you got this light-skinned girl coming in. Like she said, all you got to do is sit there and be light, and people are going to like you just because you're light, you know, so she can take away some of her money. So I feel like maybe in that way she might be a little mean to her or antagonistic to her, right? But throughout the rest of this episode, Mercedes really just be minding her business in general. And when she took her home later on, which we'll talk about, I felt like she was being genuine. And Autumn is rude. And y'all got to remember, if you come to a place, like I feel like Autumn is rude for a reason that we'll find out, right? We'll find out why she treats everybody the way she does. But if I'm thinking I'm at my job and a person just show up who won a little contest, and the first thing that comes out of your mouth is correcting somebody else on how they speak, and you the new person, you're not going to be received well. You're not. And then she has an attitude. Like I said, every time somebody asks her something, she answering back with an attitude. She, you know, she's rude. The girl brought her home and said, I just want to make sure you need me to come up. And she walking to make sure she good or whatever because you just had an episode and you slamming the door in her face. Now I understand why. Because you don't want her in your business or you got something else going on that we don't know about. But you're rude to people and that's all they see, girl. So, of course, the girls ain't going to like you, sis, because, you know, they try to mess with you a little bit and, you know, you were supposed to open up, but you ain't opened up yet. So, you know, I don't know what to say. I don't think that Mercedes is rude. I don't think she mean. I think she giving the same energy that she receiving, okay? That's all I think that's happening. We see Uncle Clifford smoking a cigarette with Big L. Okay, so now we know his name. And all the Mexican men are out there again and they starting to fight this time. So, you know, they go ahead and close it down. He's basically telling them that all the money that they're making from all these different things they doing is not going to make them the money that they need to pay this bill. Now, he has opened the mail, okay? And Cliff is mad because he wasn't supposed to be opening her mail, but, you know, he done opened the mail, and now you can see that they are $55,000 in the rear. Now, when he opened the refrigerator, not only they selling wings, they selling, they cashing checks, they got strippers, they got everything going on. They also selling dope, okay? So that's what we know they was getting out the dumpster last week, some Oxycontin or whatever. And that person is supposed to be coming, but some of the roads from Texas have gotten flooded. So now we are confirmed that she is coming from Texas, from Harvey, okay? They threw me a little bit with the buses because I can tell you because I'm here in Houston and I was here when Harvey happened and nobody was getting bussed out of the city like they was getting bussed out of the city for Katrina. It didn't happen that way, okay? people got stranded and stuff like that in Houston, and, you know, houses destroyed and stuff like that, you know, and flooding. But it wasn't like people were on a bridge and they was waiting for the bus. That was Katrina. So they kind of conflated them two things together. But we saw that the licenses from Texas, like I put that in the comments last week, we saw that, like I said, the person who coming to get the oxy, they coming from Houston. They said the roads was flooded, but they coming. So we can see that she was coming from Houston. We just want to make that conclusion for everybody, you know, anybody who was confused. I was a little bit confused. Like I said, they selling dope and they need this money, you know what I'm saying, to make it. And Uncle Clifford is like, just count, just count. Big L says this is his second chance. So Big L has been in prison, you know, he got felonies, stuff like that. So he like, you know, please, you got to figure out a way to make this work, to fix this problem. They have 30 days. Clifford goes to the car to take a moment for himself. All the stress is getting on his nerves. And child, he's sitting in the car and Lil Murder done popped up behind him. Now he done taken to call Lil Murder Lil Nigga. And I just think that's hilarious. So at first he thought Lil Murder was going to kill him. Okay, he was like, I mean, if this got to be it, Lord, just let it be it, Lord. You mad because I ain't play your song? And he said, I gave you a lot of stacks to play those songs. And he was like, listen, I can't get, you know, I can't make them girls dance to that slaw. Slaw is Mississippi slang for trash. Just so y'all know, in Memphis too, I think they say slaw in Memphis too. So it just means trash. So like, I can't make the girls dance to this. Well, basically, Lil Murder was like, Mercedes is your bottom bitch and she running your club. You know what I mean? And he was like, everybody have a choice. It is what it is. Like, don't get mad at them. Get mad at yourself because your music is not that good. And so, he tells him something about, you know, I tried to give you a choice, but you ain't want the D the other night. And then we see the flashbacks of them kissing and hugging. So it turns out that Uncle Clifford wasn't the one giving the pleasure, honey. It was Murder was the one giving the pleasure and giving the money so he can get his song played, baby. But I think he liked, you know, Uncle Clifford. I think he likes her. You know, he have a crush on her. You know what I'm saying? I think it's cute too. We see the flashes back and all of that stuff. And he's like, listen, you got to get some better whatever because you want to get these streets whispering. And he leans in his ear and he like, they already be whispering or whatever. And then he get out the car. Like I said, the dude he does a good job of making you like afraid of him. And, you know, turned on by him and thinking he's funny and cute. I like this little dude. I really think he's a good actor. He one we gotta watch. We see Mercedes, she's taking a jog. This is the next day, and she, you know, waving at everybody. She apparently everybody know in the neighborhood, you know, they waving to her. She don't have her wig on. She got her natural hair out. She's super fine, you know, and she runs across this guy. She got her pit bull with her. She runs across this guy, and you know, she played off like, oh, I didn't know you was over here, when she knew he was over there. And he was fine as hell. He was on Being Mary Jane. If y'all don't remember him, he was her little thing, you know what I'm saying? And I think in real life, he's like an ex-football player or something like that. So he tells her that he's gonna come see her in her last dance by hook or crook, even though he have an ankle bracelet on. But he got a fat nigga that's gonna, you know, hold it and babysit it for him for a sandwich. And so, you know, he gonna come out there. She like, don't go to jail behind me. Okay, I don't want you to be in the jailhouse behind me. But he said he gonna be out there to see her do her last dance. So she take it on home to her house. She got a real cute house, you know. Got her stuff together. I like it. I like Mercedes. I think she's an enterprising young lady. Okay, I think she be handling her business and taking care. We can see that her mother is calling her phone, but you know, she don't want to answer the phone because we know mom ain't doing nothing but asking for money. Then we go over to the church, and mom is in her office, and one of the ladies comes in and says, Patrice, it's time for you to practice your part. And she's like, you mean Sister Woodbine? And she was like, girl, oh, whatever. Like, she looked at her like, whatever, girl. And so then we see the pastor. He comes into the office, and he's basically asking, I thought you was going to get your daughter to get another contribution. And she was like, well, she just gave a contribution. And, you know, she is trying to come up with other ways to get the whatever money that they need for this loan. Now, my thing is, what had happened with all the money she done gave you, the booty money that she been hiding in the church? Okay, so where all that money at? Why did she got to keep giving you money? What y'all doing with the money that you already had? Something about this money, something tells me this money is gone, okay? So she's going to try to, basically, the pastor like uses the fact that Patrice likes him, and he like go in and pick this little thing off her eyelash. Like, he's using that to work her, to get her to talk her daughter. So basically they trying to pimp the daughter, and you know, through the church or whatever. They need this money so they can get the loan. They got to pay this down payment. And I personally think either the pastor or mama done spent all the money that she has been putting in their hands in the past. So mama go off on a mission like, I gotta get this money for daddy. So then we see Autumn. She's in her house. She laying on that phone and she laying on that mattress and she's trying to look at her phone and trying to see if it's working. She put in a bag of rice. It's not working. So then we see her at a payphone. I said, child, a payphone? When the last time y'all seen a payphone? So she's at the payphone. She's calling FEMA and she's trying to find out which of the IDs, like, have they been identified? Because you want to use a dead person's ID, right? So I have this feeling that Autumn is a scammer. I'm telling y'all, she either a scammer or she know how to, like, launder money and stuff like that, because you know how to, you know, take people's dead people ID and use their social security number and stuff like that. So she finds Lakeisha Savage. She has been identified. So she takes her ID. She throws the other one away. And then she asks about a guy named Montavious Hill. So I'm going to assume that Montavious Hill is the man that was beating her up in all these flashbacks, because when they tell her that he hasn't been identified, basically meaning he's still alive, girl, he could still be out there, she has this look of dread on her face. I'm going to tell y'all my theory about this whole show and Autumn and who she is a little later. So then we see the guy, Andre, who was taking pictures. We see him on his computer and he's just looking at the different images that he has taken of different people throwing up. You know, he sees the picture of them getting stuff out of the dumpster, you know, those drugs out of the dumpster, and he puts that in a file. He also sees a picture of Autumn that he also puts in a file. The file says Promised Land Casino and Resort. I said, y'all out of line for naming the casino the Promised Land. Ain't shit promised about no casino but brokenness, okay? Then we see Andre taking pictures of a cotton field, and we see that he's on some property or a plantation that these two white boys own, and he's there to get their signatures to sell the land to the people who are making the casino. And the other brother has not showed up yet. The other brother is, you guessed it, Corbin. So he's not coming, and the two white brothers are pissed off. And one of the brothers kind of dumb, because when Andre said, I need y'all John Hancock, one of the brother on the porch was like, huh? And the dude was like, your signature, dummy. So the brothers ain't that smart, you know what I mean? And so now you got Corbin, who is clearly an outside baby, who is not there because he wants to do something else. So Andre says, well, maybe I should talk to him. Basically, he's saying, because I'm black and he black. So, you know, maybe we could, you know, I could convince him. And the brother is like, yeah, you don't want me to convince him. Like, y'all gonna find that boy hanging from a tree if that white boy go like, try to convince him to sign his paperwork or whatever. So they tell him he gonna be right over there at the Pank, spending all our damn daddy money on coochie and alcohol. So that's where you can find him. Mercedes is with her dance team in the parking lot. They like, we're not gonna practice out here, huh? It's too hot. I can't break it down out here. And she tells them that this building right here is gonna be the building that they're gonna be in a couple of weeks. And, you know, they'll be practicing in there. Right when she says that, you know, they all shouting and screaming. A guy drives by and he's like, shake that booty, pop that booty, you know, hollering at Mercedes, because, you know, everybody knows she's a stripper, I'm sure. And the mama was like, thank God. I mean, this gym couldn't come fast enough. Mercedes felt bad, and I felt bad for her, because I mean, she doing what she got to do to make it. If you live in a little bitty ass small town like that, y'all, you either gonna be, the only things that's gonna make you money, decent money to live and work, I mean, decent money to live and be able to support yourself, is going to be a police officer, is going to be a school teacher, or is going to be a stripper, somebody who works in the entertainment business. So, you know, that's the jobs, you know, in those type of towns, in those type of very small places. It just is what it is. That's going to make you a salary and that type of thing, or you can join a service or something like that. So, you know, she doing what she can to make that kind of money, okay? She's judged for it. So I'm happy that she's trying to get her business. Now that we know this is what she want to do, this is why she got the text about the property and everything last week. Now it's time for the car wash. This is the pink annual soap down. So we got Mrs. Mississippi, who I think is absolutely beautiful. I personally think she's the most beautiful girl on this entire show. Miss Mississippi, or Keyshawn, she is beautiful, okay? So she doing her whole Instagram thing, you know, proceeds go to a bitch pockets, you know, the whole 9 yards. Honey, Uncle Clifford was serving us thigh meat, and I was 100% here for it, okay? I want his outfit. I want his wig. I want that clear jacket. I want them shorts, okay? The only thing I didn't like was his little shirt, but for him it was cute. I just wouldn't wear it. But that outfit was cute. He looked cute. I'm here for it. It's like Frida. It's kind of like Big Frida, you know what I mean? And I'm just here. I don't know, y'all. I just love it. I love it. Like, every time his outfits came, every time he come on the screen, every time she comes on the screen, okay, I just live for her. I live for her, okay? So, anywho, they, you know, washing the cars. The mayor rolls up. So Isaiah Washington is our mayor. We love Isaiah Washington. He plays a good ass bad character, right? So Isaiah rolls up, and he's the mayor of the town, and you know, Uncle Clifford is like, why you tripping on us? You know what I mean? On all these rules, you know, we can't sell alcohol. He said, well, you know, if you want to sell alcohol, you got to tell them girls to cover up. Well, how we gonna have a titty bar with no titties? Well, I could just get the sheriff come shut this whole thing down, okay? Because I see some violations going on. He like, no, we good. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get the girls come clean your car and go on about your business. But y'all, it's a lot. It's like that in a lot of places. I don't know how they do up north, but in the South, it's like that. The girls, it's not that you can't be complete. You can't be naked. Because you go to some strip clubs like the Pink, the girls be naked. You know what I mean? Pretty much. But they don't sell alcohol in there. It's BYOB. That's how they get around it. You can bring alcohol and drink it, but they can't sell it. They sell mixers and stuff like that because you can't have, and I kind of agree with it, because you don't need a bunch of crazy drunk Negroes in there with naked girls, because things can get out of control, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? So these girls got to have some type of protection. And a whole bunch of drunk people in the club just don't seem like, you know, protection. So I kind of agree with it to a certain extent. We got Mercedes and Autumn are inside the Escalade. They're cleaning it, and Mercedes asks for some Armor All, a leather cleaner, and Autumn lies and says there's no more. See, that's what I'm talking about. You just being mean just for no reason. So Mercedes gets out of the car because she want to do a good job, and so she going to get some more, and she leaves her in the car, and they start pouring the water and the soap over the vehicle, and Autumn starts to have a flashback. She starts to be triggered. Imagine that she's underwater in a vehicle, so I don't know if that's what happened. We don't know if her daughter died. We don't know if her daughter is still alive. We don't know anything about, you know, what's going on, but she's having that flashback, and so she panics. She jumps out of the sunroof, water all in the car. She gets out, you know, she's screaming, and she's screaming at Mercedes. Here's another reason they don't like her. We don't know. They don't know what's going on with her. You know, all I know is you started screaming and hollering, jumping out of a vehicle, accusing me of locking you in a car. That's what I'm saying. And everybody gonna be like, oh, you know, what's wrong with her? And Mercedes is like, I did not lock you in the car. Miss Mississippi says it was a child lock. And Autumn is just standing out there looking crazy now, because you done accused this girl of locking you in a vehicle. You know what I mean? That's gonna make her not like you more. Why would she like you? You try to straight lie on her. You know what I mean? And so Clifford is like, well, take her home, Mercedes. After you accused me of locking you in somewhere, I wouldn't have took her ass home. But he says, you're going to take her home. So Mercedes takes her home. Autumn get out the car. Don't say thank you. Don't say nothing, girl. Walk up the stairs. Mercedes is like, do you need me to walk you up? Are you okay? Now, I'm sure part of that was being nosy, but the other part of it was, are you okay? Because you just did something crazy. Like, you good? I felt like Mercedes was sincere, and she was like, you ain't gonna invite me inside for no red drink or nothing. That part of it was nosy. But Autumn is like, I don't do Kool-Aid. That's what I'm saying, girl. Like, it ain't like, I'm just tired. Can I go in here, go to sleep? I don't want to be bothered. Like, you can just say, I don't want to be bothered with nobody right now and close the door. But you going to say, I don't do Kool-Aid. Like, bitch, you is highfalutin, but you living in a hole with a mattress on the floor. So I don't blame Mercedes. If that was me, I'd have been like, bitch, you real uppity, bitch. Okay, you love to correct the whole living with a mattress on the floor smelling like mildew outside. Cut it, sis. He slammed the door in Mercedes' face, and Mercedes say something about the newspaper over her windows, and she walk on back down and go on about her business. While Autumn is sitting on the other side of the door just crying. Later on that night, her phone finally starts to work again, and she can see the pictures of her daughter, and she, you know, is happy, and she starts to cry. And we see her down at the laundromat using a public computer, and she's making a money transfer, and she uses the name Lakeisha that's on the ID to transfer $9,000 to, I don't know who account. I don't know where account. Maybe it's a shell account. I don't know. And how you got $9,000 in a week, sis? I don't know what's going on with that. It sounds like some scam and fraud type stuff, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all now. I think that because later on she talks about shell companies, I would have said she was a garden variety scammer, but I'm really thinking that her boyfriend was probably a drug dealer or something like that, and maybe she helped him launder money, and either she stole some money or, you know, it was just a garden variety, I want to beat you up and control you all the time, you know. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like because she's smarter than what she lets on, and if you know about shell companies, that's a different type of scammer. You know what I'm saying? That ain't just I'ma steal your credit card number scammer. That's like another level of money laundering to have a shell company. Okay, so that's a whole different situation. If you laundering money, more than likely her boyfriend was a drug dealer. She sends $9,000 to whatever account, child. And so then we see Mercedes. They walking up to the club. They getting ready to go dance, and they talking about Autumn. And you know the fact that she live in a box with a mattress on the floor, and the bitch had the nerve talking about she don't do Kool-Aid. Like, bitch, you too bougie for Kool-Aid, but you ain't too bougie to lay down in a rat infested apartment. Okay, ho, you're doing too much. And Clifford is running out because the cook is leaving. He's running away with his pots, talking about he leaving. He not working at this place no more. And bitch, he gonna come back for his lids too. I said, child. Clifford is about to cry. And he's like, what are we gonna do? And Mercedes like, don't worry about it. I'm about to make some money tonight. I love what Rox was like. She be like, hilarious, right? She do be like this. So, and he's like, you about to leave. What we gonna do after that? And then after that, you know, you about to leave, girl. So he starts to like cry a little bit. And Mercedes is like, rule number 28, no crying at the bank. Okay, you cannot be crying. Get yourself together. And we going here to make this money. He like, all right, let's just go make this money. Mercedes has a sixth sense about herself. And so she can tell that something is wrong, you know, something is going on that we don't know about. We see Big L and Uncle Clifford in there. They decided they're going to go ahead and start making the wings. And all of a sudden, here is Lil Murder popping up again in the kitchen. And Uncle Clifford is like, damn, is you stalking me? And he was like, man, I just want you to hear this. So he puts the ear pods in her ears, and she listens to the song, and she like, this is just more slaw. You know, the beat is, or the bars are better, but the beat is trash. You need to get Jay with DJ. I think he was talking about the DJ that worked at the club, whatever his name is. You know, he got that knock, you know, in his songs or whatever. And so, then they start talking about, well, she tells him, if you want to be in the business, you're going to have to take criticism. And he's like, oh, okay, well, and be on top like you. And she was like, yeah, like me. She was like, yeah, like me. And he was like, well, oh, because people, you know, basically be talking about your club. This is my criticism for your club. Y'all don't have no money gun. Y'all don't have no hookah. Okay, and your wings give people gas. My boy said your stripper farted on him the other night. Baby, I hollered. When I screamed in my house. Do you understand me? I was like, boy, I love Mississippi, boy. I promise y'all, if y'all can hear my big, faux, tall, giant uncles talking shit in Mississippi, it would sound a little something like this, okay? I live for me some Lil Murder. He said what you need to do is sear them wings in the pan, okay, to lock in the flavor. And then you need to bake them in cannabis butter and get this crowd popping and them throwing money. Uncle Clifford is like, so what else do you not like about my establishment? He said ASAP nobody. And then he said, well, oh, you want nobody's opinion? I said, I love him. I love him, y'all. I love him. So he throw him a little apron and is like, show me better than you can tell me. And so they start painting them wings, start cooking. You know, everybody eating them wings. It's litty in the club tonight. Also see Andre meeting up with Corbin in the club, and they're talking money. Now we see Autumn go over to the bartender, and she like, who you gonna pick out tonight? And she was like, she picks them two. And she was like, yeah, girl, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But then Mercedes comes up and is like, nah, that corny dude, he's not going to spend no money. One dude is here to spend money. Two dudes together, they're here to make money. Now, we already know that Autumn like money, okay? She know how to launder money, and apparently she doing some shady stuff. So money perked her ears up. So she went over there anyway and asked Andre if he wanted to dance. Now, of course, he knows her already. So when she walked in the room, he was just like, oh my God. You can tell that this is his dream girl. Because Autumn is giving white girl dance. She's giving you a white girl stripper tea, okay? So she's like, you want to dance with me? And so, you know, him and Corbin, they was going to take the dance. And Mercedes comes in and she was like, you look like your name is Andre. And he was like, how you know? And she was like, I just know X, Y. And so she like, you know, she make her pitch. And he decides, you want brown liquor, you want white liquor. He decides he want white liquor. And Mercedes say something a little cutie, and, you know, she walk out the room. I don't think it was rude or disrespectful. She was just like, you know, everybody can't handle it. It wasn't directed to her. It was kind of directed to them. And so, you know, she walks on out, and Autumn gives them the lap dance. Now, when she's giving them the lap dance, they are, you know, they are talking business. Basically, he's trying to get Corbin to sign his paperwork. Corbin says he don't want to own it. He don't want to sell it. He wants to lease it. He can make more money like that. He also tells him that he's the son of the maid, and he's never gotten a trade off the name of his father until his father passed away. And now he got money. So he wants to continue to make money basically off this family's name because they done did him dirty his whole life. And, he don't want no $1 million after taxes. That's what it's going to be. And if he can help him and introduce him to the right people that can get him this lease for the casino, that, he would give him a kickback. Now, Andre was like, you can't buy me, and all of this. And he like, man, the mayor does less or more for less. Corbin is like, I'm going to buy you a lap dance. So he gives the girl some money. He gives Autumn some money and tell him, take him in there, have a good time with him or whatever. And, Andre know he want to go up in that room with that girl, so cut it. So they go in the room. She dances for him. He tells her to sit down over there. You know what I'm saying? And they show each other their scars. She has a C-section scar. He has a heart scar. And, he said something about her having a baby. And she was like, I'm about to go. And he was like, okay, let's just pretend like we don't know each other. So they dance with she dances with him and she tells him, if you're going to do this deal, you need to make sure you protect yourself and run the money through a shell company. This place, Denver, such and such, whatever, has the best shell companies in the United States. And so he gives her his card and says, if you need anything, call me or whatever. So like I said, this lets you know that she's not your run-of-the-mill average scammer. She is laundering money, big time money, apparently. During the same time, we see Mercedes and Uncle Clifford talking to each other. Mercedes is asking Uncle Clifford how much money do he owe? How much money do he owe? How much money do he owe? You got 55 stacks. And she was like, nigga, wait a minute. Like, I didn't know you owed that much money. She's like, how you going to get out of it? And he was like, well, basically by following some of my own rules. So, we don't know what's going to happen with that. Like, I feel so bad for him because he's drowning at this point. Like, he is in debt and he only got 30 days to get this money. That's a lot of money, y'all. At the end of the night, we see everybody is cashing out and Autumn comes in there, big money grip. She got $1,000 because Andre gave her the money. The guy gave him. So she has this money. She flashing her money. She gives, her little tip out or whatever. And Mercedes is like, what you did to get that money, girl? I know you wasn't up in there just dancing, girl. And she was like, who are you to talk? Now, here's another reason why I don't like Autumn. Because you made an assumption that they in that room having sex. You don't know what they in that room doing. And it ain't none of your damn business. But when a girl say, I know you, that's a correct assumption. Because you only been there for 1 week. What did you do to get $1,000, girl? Okay, well, you ain't even know who to walk up next to last week. Okay, so I'm not saying Mercedes should have said it out loud, but it wasn't nothing for you to be, that mad about because you only been there for a week. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, and then turning right back around and calling her a hoe because you thought you might think that what she doing up in that room that you don't actually know. And so Mercedes was like, girl, I ain't never had to lower none of my morals for these niggas. And she go to like fight her and they had to take her out of the room. And Uncle Clifford says, listen, don't ever do that again. You short me before you come up in here trying to stun on these girls about how much you made in one night. She said, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. She get ready to leave. He was like, hold up. Don't you owe me something? She gives him the ID and he tells in 5 seconds flat that, girl, this ain't you. You don't look like her. This ain't you, sis. Okay, so you gonna tell me how you got that $1,000 right now? You ain't coming back up in here. And she tells him, listen, it was just a lucky night. Dude was trying to bribe the other dude. He didn't want to take the bribe, so he ended up just giving me the money. That was it was just my luck or whatever. And about the casino. So she said something about a casino, and she can tell that Clifford had no idea, even though she tries to play it off about knowing about the casino. Clifford don't know nothing about the casino. Clifford is like, listen, you about to give me some tea. Or she gives Clifford the card and it's like, call Andre if you want to know more about, this. And he's like, I'm not, and she's like, I'm not calling Andre. Because I got you. You're going to use whatever lips you decide to use. You're going to use your, that's up to you. But I need for you to find out what's going on with this casino. And she's like, I don't need shit. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. You doing a whole lot living in a mildew room with a mattress on the floor, with a fake ID, with a cell phone and a pair of shorts and a white t-shirt to your name, sis. You doing a whole lot. And he was like, hold up. I know you ain't talking with this fake ass ID, girl. I could just give this to the sheriff and they can deal with whatever you got going on. Okay, so you gonna find out what's going on and I'm gonna hold on to this till you bring me some tea. So she take it on to the house. After she get drunk, she decides to call Andre, and she basically has phone sex with him. And what we got was a little bit of male frontal nudity. We got some at the beginning too. And I just want to say thank you to Hollywood, because I feel like it's a long time coming. We should see penises. I enjoy seeing the variations of penises with the different men in the male frontal nudity. Like, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I don't care what nobody say. Between this show, I've seen like 3 or 4 penises in the past couple weeks, and I'm happy about it, because we see boobies and coochies all day on the internet. I mean, on the cable networks, on, you know, movies. It's been like that forever. It's time for some equality. I want to see something swinging, honey, and it did swing like a little baseball bat. Now, it wasn't no long view, you know. It wasn't like camera was on it for a long time, but we saw that mug swing. I said, oh my goodness. So, you know, they go to doing their thing or whatever, and, you know, they doing this, do it faster. He imagining she there. It was super intense. And, you know, he even had a little, finished action on his stomach. I said, oh wow, they're going for the realism on this one. Wow. And so this boy is, you know, his nose is wide the fuck open. She gonna be trouble for him, because before she came over there, or I'm sorry, before she called him, he was on the phone with his not girlfriend, wife, because I looked at his finger and it was a ring on that hoe. So he got a whole ass wife. I thought he was gonna be a Captain Save-A-Hoe or something, but he a dog too. So I'm over it. Very end of the night, or the next morning, we see Uncle Clifford getting into her car, and she pulls down the visor and a CD falls out, and she like, damn, I'm not that old. That was funny from a CD. It's crazy how CDs are old now, right? They don't even put them in the car anymore. You don't even have CD players in the vehicle anymore. I remember when tape decks went out. That's how old I am. Okay, so all in all, I thought this episode was good. This show is hilarious. I think that, like I said, it's a really good take. I went to Mississippi for my uncle passed away from COVID last week, and so I had to go sing at the funeral last weekend. That's why these reviews are late. And I took some video of Mississippi. I'm going to put it at the end of this video so you can see how good of a job they did depicting what Mississippi looks like. Like the town my mom lives in, there's no strip club. There's corner stores and, you know, a little general store here. They used to have a post office, but it got blown away, you know, after Hurricane Katrina. You know, so it's a little town. You have to go, like I said, outside of the town to go do major things. But it's still a good, accurate depiction of what Mississippi looks like. And I'm here for it. The ratchetness of the show. I love it. I love it. Like I said, I love Uncle Clifford. Y'all forgive me if I'm mispronouncing. You know, I'm trying to get the pronoun right. I know I messed it up probably a lot in this video, but we're going to work on it. You know, we're going to work on it. So, I thought it was a great episode. This is a great show. I want to hear what you guys thought about it. If you want to follow me on social media, you can at Watchdawn of A. I'll holler at y'all next week. Peace.